Good morning, everybody. Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be. MIC. KEY. Select a yeah, boy. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Weekend's almost here. It's still morning on Friday for me, at least. So I have some business to do today. But it's Friday, and I love Friday because I still have weekends. I used to not have weekends, but I have weekends again because I do. Anyway, today there was a couple interesting things news-wise that caught my eye regarding the coof. The coof, yes, the coof that I am a recovered American from. I shouldn't say recovered American. I'm recovered from the coof. If you didn't already know that, except I still don't have my taste back, and I'm still drinking tea instead of coffee. But you know, if you drink it in the right cup, it's just okay. It's okay. So anyway, yes, this is my Salt Lake City, Utah cup. Anyway, I don't have any great wisdom to say before the intro, so I'm just gonna play the intro. See you in a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight.
And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. It's Friday. Woohoo! Oh, what happened down there? There we go. It's Friday, the 22nd of January, 2021, in the post-Trump world, which everything I see happening by the new president, who is my president, even no matter what I say, even though the hashtag trended that day, until something better comes along, this guy is my president. Yay. And, he's been doing and saying a few things, got a lot of done in the first couple days. Woo. Yeah. Some things that make you go, but it just is what it is, and we're gonna get through it. We're all gonna get through this, just like the people who were not happy that our former president was president. Y'all survived it. Y'all got through it. Well, those of us who are not as thrilled about this guy we'll all get through it. We'll see how, but Anyway, I have my first donation of the day. Rock on. Thank you, Mr. Bear Cock. Did a donation through Super Chat. The YouTube Super Chat. Thank you, sir. That says, quote, first Super Chat of the day. Well, I am thrilled, and thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys, if you want to do donations to the show, you can do it through YouTube Super Chat, which takes about, just reminding you, you're giving 30% to YouTube, but that's okay. That's some people prefer it because there are some privacy features that are in place there that are, I don't know if they're better. I'm not doing anything with your shit, but you learn a lot more about me if you do it through, anyway, whatever. Streamlabs also is available down there. Cashapp and Venmo are also available too. But thank you so much, Bear Cock. You just know I love saying that, don't you? Anyway, let's say good morning to everybody before I get into the nitty gritty of today. First in the chat today was Adam Richard. Wow, early. And at the time, I believe the scheduled for on this show said 9 p.m. and I quickly changed to 9 a.m. once I got here this morning. Anyway, also good morning to my friend down under, Richo, who's a very loyal person in the watching of the show area. I'm having trouble with words today. I had trouble with words yesterday too. Did I fall asleep in the middle of a sentence yesterday? For some reason, I was watching my show and I'm like, did you just fall asleep, Marty? Are you freaking kidding me? I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. But anyway, also good morning to James PFP, my friend from Newfoundland. Apparently it's snow-covered Newfoundland today. Also, hello, Jesse Leon, Mike Savage, Blarg, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, good morning, Tyler F., Advocatus Diaboli, Zach Osborne, Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live. By the way, just a reminder, because we started this week on Tuesday on the show, we are going to have a Saturday show tomorrow, and that will be the celebration of 2 years of the Morning Night Live. Yes, our second anniversary show. I'll have a few guests coming in and whatnot, but so on a Saturday, we're doing a show. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, especially people who can't do the morning thing Monday through Friday. That's a good day for people to pop in if you want to share that stream tomorrow. If you watch me on Twitter, mine's in Gab. I'll put some more announcements out over the course of the day, and if you want to share those announcements, you can do that if you're following me on one of those platforms. I'll also put up a little post on YouTube just reminding you that the 2-year anniversary show is tomorrow. Rock on. Anyway, also, good morning, Chadwick Dupree, a.k.a. Dammit Chadwick, Bear Cock, who's did the first donation of the day, Uncle Stepdad, how you doing, who says, all hail Jesus Joe. Good morning, Gunfox61, the administrator of our Discord server. Jonas Patterson, good morning. Also, Small Man. You know, there's a small man, there's a tall man, and there's a tall something. There's a lot of different forms of small and tall that watch the show. Good morning, Renee Mayette. Good morning, Tarai Deos. Also, Atheist Icon, Molly Maggs, TC Ball, Katie Did Skate, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian. Not that the rest of you Canadians aren't very dear to me, but Jaeger Pony's my favorite Canadian. I just don't know why, just because. Also, good morning, too. Is that everybody? That might be everybody. Oh, no, Sate Fugi's in the house. I think I said Mike Savage because I already said Blarg. And Cynical Lindsay. Okay, and Lindsay's going to be at work in lurk mode. Got a big work project. Okay, well, I hope your work project goes well. All right, let's get into it. So yesterday, in the middle of a bunch of orders, executive orders. I thought, it's funny because when Trump was doing all these executive orders, a lot of people were very upset that those executive orders might be unconstitutional, and yet here we are, 15 or 16 executive orders later from the president in the first 2 days. Yes, it still pains me to say that word, but it is what it is, and like I said, we're all going to get through it. I've gotten through so many presidents that I'll be okay. I will be okay. I've made it through a lot of presidents that I didn't care for, and so I can get through one more. Oh, we have our first Streamlabs donation of the day from Gunfox61. And Gunfox61,
you are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Thank you for the deuce, my friend, who says, Marty, Pedo Joe, and Open Lakes Harris are showing the true nature of the deep state and swamp, cucking to everyone and fucking over everyone. I say the word, but I just try to see if I can trick YouTube. Killed the Keystone Pipeline, open borders, and above all, letting Muslim terrorists in. Say goodbye jobs. Well, I found it fascinating. So Joe Biden, when he gets into office, after all the support from black people and unions. Let me say that again. Black people and unions. The first person he fires from the Trump administration is a black man, and he kills about 55,000 union jobs. So there you go. not a good thing. And, you know, I think was it Pete Buttigieg yesterday said, well, they can find other jobs. Really? Well, 55, or is it 52,000? I don't know. It's around 50,000 jobs Joe Biden killed with a swipe of a pen. And I hear people arguing, you know, oh, well, they could get some clean energy jobs. Clean energy jobs would pay higher than that. Bullshit. No, they won't. It's, you know. Wait, someone said something to me over here. How many bidets exactly broke the rules so far? Paris climate. Yeah, you know, because I said that the other day. He said, oh, we're going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. Yeah, not so fast. That is an agreement. Oh, by the way, thank you, Gunfox61. Appreciate you. And also, Bear Cock, thank you also. Thank you for the very kind donations. Like I said, you can find that information in the chat and in the description down below. The Paris Climate Accord one. Oh, we're rejoining the Paris Climate Accord. Did you know we were never even officially a part of the Paris Climate Accord because it was never ratified by the Senate with a 2/3 majority, which is required for American treaties? So I'm not even positive, no matter what he says, if we're actually returning to the Paris Climate Accord, motherfucker. Anyway, if you're not watching, I took a sip of my tea, kind of like that frog meme. Or no, well, not the frog meme, not like Peppy, like Kermit the Frog meme. So there, Marty, not to be a wet blanket, read bad presidents of the past. Biden is not the same as most of them. Well, I know he's an utterly empty shell of a puppet suitable only for villainization. Later, to pretend the puppet masters weren't to blame. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Who wrote that? James. I don't disagree with you. But it doesn't matter if I agree, and if I think that. We just got to get through it, and hopefully in 2 years, flip the House and the Senate again, and because we're going to figure out how this is going to be. Look, just these executive orders alone, killing that many jobs. That's 50,000 jobs just from the pipeline. And also. So he says we're gonna kill the Keystone Pipeline. I'm gonna, it's like so 50,000, and you get Canada mad at us. And it's not just on our side of the border that hurts. That hurts the Canadians too. But hey, fine. Canadians will go back to selling that oil to China. Great. And there's it does nothing to save the carbon footprint of the world. Anyway, good morning, Tony A. Yeah, remember how well Cylinder worked out? Yeah, seriously. Oh, shovel-ready jobs, remember those? Oh, wait, there's not so many shovel-ready jobs. That's a lot of people to have to find new jobs. Good morning, Annalyn. Good morning, Humble Clay. All right. So anyway, but let me get back to the fun thing that I saw yesterday, and it was this clip of Biden responding to Zeke. Who is it? Zeke? What's his name? Who's the reporter from the AP? Zeke Miller. So wait a minute. Oh, hang on a second here. Let me do a couple quick thank yous. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay, Johnny Hellcat, Tyler F. for tweeting out the show. I really appreciate that. Oh, hopefully, and I'm going around in circles here. Hopefully tomorrow, for the 2-year anniversary show, I'm hoping that either Hotep Jesus and or Uncle Hotep come on the show. If you follow my Twitter feed, they have done an award show, and I want to talk to them about it. Even if I don't talk to them about it, I want to bring this to your attention right now before I forget. They have done an award show on YouTube called The Grifties, and it is hilarious. And whether you agree with who got the awards or not, it's funny. You got to go see it. I have to talk to them about it, but you got to check that out. It's on YouTube. He made a special channel just for the show. Let me just take a quick pop over here because I want to remember what the channel's called. It's because he made a channel called The Grifties, which I'm going to pause this side here. Grifty Awards, GRIFTY Awards, and I don't know, it doesn't have a YouTube channel name, that's the name of the channel, but it's not like you can just go here. I'm gonna put a link to the Grifties in the chat, and I'll have a link to the Grifties in the links for today in case you don't pull it out of the chat, because I just found it hilarious. You may or may not, but I'm still going to promote it because those are my guys. I like those guys. Pause. There we go. Okay. I didn't want to forget to promote the Grifties. It's hilarious. Also, thank you, Gunfox61, with another donation, a 3-spot this time, who says, Marty, good. I hope everyone who voted for Pedo Joe sees their jobs move to China and do all this 2K or whatever, lose all their government handouts, let the memes and salt flow. Marty at the Keystone Pipeline, Canada will sell all their oil to China and we'll have $7 US gas. The things you have to do for the Paris Climate Accord. I don't know if you see $7 gas, but I can see it go back up to $4.50 to $5 range during the Biden presidency if he keeps just listening to these other jackasses. Thank you, Gunfox61. Appreciate that. In fact, it's funny because in the last 3 days, someone mentioned that they saw gas go up, and I'm like, oh, really? Did it? Because I was thinking, let's see here. I fill up my truck. I have a truck with a 32-gallon tank, and I noticed that, that cost me a little more today because I think gas went up 35 cents here. So, and don't expect that trend to stop. And especially when you get into the summer gas, we're in winter gas. They have a winter blend and summer blend that we use here in Minnesota. I'm sure if you're Canadians and anyone who lives north of probably Missouri realizes that there's winter and summer blends, and gas is always cheaper in the winter. It's usually 30 to 50 cents cheaper, and also the demand for gas goes up in the summer, so you get that part too. But 30 cents change this time of year upwards. 2 days after the inauguration? Think about that. So they want to, they Keystone Pipeline, they're going to stop all new drilling. Oh, also all new drilling projects or all new drilling permits are going to be stopped. I don't think they can take back the ones they've already given, but they're not going to be allowing any more drilling permits. They joining the Paris Climate Accord. I got a feeling there's going to be all kinds of regulations and shit coming down the pipe, and they're pumping this $15 minimum wage too. Prices of a lot of things are going to go up, and the people who benefit from the new $15 minimum wage are going to be few, because guess what? A lot of people aren't going to get hired at $15 because, I just don't know that's how it works. If I can't find someone to, I go into Taco Bell. I went into Taco Bell. I don't do it very often because I'm not a fan of Taco Bell, but every once in a while, I go to Taco Bell, right? And you used to have 3 or 4 people there waiting at the counter to take your order, right? Not at the Taco Bells here. Think about it. We don't have a $15 minimum wage in Minnesota, but most of the fast food places are paying $12, $13 an hour to start. But in the Taco Bell, I had a little touchpad keyboard thing to make my order as an option. And then there's only like 1 or 2 people there to take your order, or you can just go to the kiosk and tap in your whole order, which people are getting used to doing. You know, you've been checking yourself out at the grocery store for a couple years, and you got kiosks for everything else. You touch screen on when you're ordering Amazon on your phone or on your computer. Well, why not just put in touch screens at some of these places? Because it's the cost of maintenance for a touch screen is going to be less than $15 an hour. So now, where are those minimum wage jobs going? Sorry, and shit's going to cost more. Not shit's going to cost more, but things that you want to buy are going to cost more. So the people who may benefit from the $15 hour minimum wage, well, it's going to cost them more to get to their job because gas prices are going up. It's going to cost them to buy stuff that they want because the prices for things go up when you raise the minimum wage. It doesn't help anybody. That's why there's some countries in Europe, we love to pretend we're Europe. Well, there's countries in Europe that have abolished their minimum wages. I wonder why. Good morning. Did I say hi to Humble Clay? Hello, Highway Lineman. Someone else new popped in here. Jay Wolf, what's happening? You're a 279 Gun Fox in PA? Yeah, I filled my truck for $2.02 a gallon today at a Sam's Club. And literally, when was it? The last time I filled up, it was $1.71 or $1.72, something like that, which have been sometime last week. So anyway, Annalyn, $1.90. Yeah, it depends on where you live. One of the reasons we have probably a little bit lower price than the average in the country here is there's a refinery close by, so there's not a whole lot of transport compared to other places. Why are you so angry at the house? How you doing? Communists love black markets. Question is who controls them? History repeated. Yeah. Merle Davis, what's happening? Nice to see you. Avocados Diablo. Labor cost increases, production cost increases, consumer cost increases. Pretty logical progression. Absolutely. Trump allowed us to be independent when it came to oil resources. Now the Dems want us to be dependent on the Middle East. This is the first step to dissolving the power of the U.S. for the global order. Well, yeah, and also they want to get away from the petrodollar too, in which, there's maybe or maybe not. That's a good idea. I don't know. Gold standards and Bitcoin might be, or gold and Bitcoin might be a good investment right now. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not an investment advisor, by the way. Do not take investment advice from me. My retirement is going to be, I wouldn't say bleak, but my wife and I were just talking about that, thinking, oh shit, we got to retire in about 10 years. We should probably start thinking about that. Anyway, okay, let's get into what I was going to talk about. Finally, Marty, finally. So now I got to try to change terminology here, because I know YouTube doesn't necessarily like people who do news and commentary shows talking about particular topics. But I don't want to use the terminology that, like, say, Hard Bastard, for example, calls them the cock. If you watch Hard Bastard, you know what the cock is. And let's see, on my Top Tep friends, they call it the vagine. So, but we're talking about that stuff that they're going to stick you in the arm with, right? Maybe I'll just call it the poke, even though it's not the actual poke part, but it's what's in the syringe that they poke you with. So the poke, the poke. And this was in reference to the poke. And so I saw this video of President Biden talking about the poke, not this poke, but what's inside the poke, right? I don't know, taking the cock. That's what I don't want to say that, or getting the vagine. I don't want to say it that way, but anyway, so here's the video that was in question. It was a reporter asking him about the rollout of the poke. Okay, and it's this is an AP reporter, mind you. This is not some hostile Fox News or OAN or Newsmax propagandist, as they might call them. No, this is an AP reporter. Okay, right here. Listen to this. Oh, maybe make sure it's on the screen when I pop over here. All right, so here it is. AP reporter asking Joe Biden a question about the new plan for the vaccine rollout. Here's his answer. Here we go. Maybe not. Maybe.
Vaccines. Thank you, guys. Is that high enough? Shouldn't you set the bar higher? That's basically where the U.S. is right now.
Okay, now, this is Zeke Miller from the AP, the Associated Press, and his question was talking about how the new Biden plan for the poke, where they have a plan to get 100 million pokes in the next 100 days. Okay, 100 million pokes in the next 100 days. And Zeke Miller from the AP is asking him, do you think that's enough? Is that, isn't that kind of right on the schedule that we are now? And listen to Biden's answer.
When I announced it, you all said it's not possible. Come on, give me a break, man.
Come on, you guys.
That's a good start. 100 million. Thank you.
Let's go. Come on, you guys. Let's go.
Now, I'm gonna let you listen to it again, because the way, again, listen to the question, listen to the answer, and I want you to listen carefully to the woman in the background, because this is going to remind you a lot of what happened during the election, during the election season as they're running for president. Listen to this one more time.
Vaccines. Thank you, guys. Is that high enough? Shouldn't you set the bar higher? That's basically where the U.S. is right now.
Shouldn't you set the bar higher? Isn't that at the pace that America's at now? And his answer doesn't make any sense. And for one reason. Listen to his answer again.
When I announced it, you all said it's not possible. Come on, give me a break, man.
Come on, you guys.
Joe, when you announced what you said it was not possible, didn't Joe Biden? I thought Donald Trump is the one they said it's not possible to get a vaccine out. But anyway, then listen to the lady in the background.
That's a good start. 100 million. Thank you.
Let's go. Come on, you guys. Let's go. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Be so good. Thank you.
Do you hear her?
Thank you, guys.
Do you hear that woman? They're shuffling him out so he won't answer any questions. So here's the deal. And this is from the Daily Caller, I think. Is this Daily Caller? Yeah. So President Joe Biden chastised Associated Press White House reporter Zeke Miller over a question about the COOF poke rollout, because I'm trying not to hear it. Miller asked whether 100 million doses that the Biden administration said will be going out over the next 100 days will be enough, based on where the U.S. is right now. The question came as Biden delivered remarks amid an executive order signing ceremony Thursday. When I announced it, you all said it was not possible. Come on, give me a break, man.
Come on, man.
Now, 100 million doses in the next 100 days. So how many doses is that per day? 1 million per day, right? So this guy, Matt Visor, who is national political reporter at the Washington Post. Now, these are not Biden unfriendly outlets, just mind you. The Washington Post and the Associated Press. Good morning, BG, and good morning, Jason Arnold. The Washington Post and the Associated Press. Literally, tongue baths of the taint publications for Joe Biden. Here, now, because Biden said Trump's vaccine rollout has been a dismal failure. And he says his goal is to administer 100 million doses in 100 days, or 1 million per day. Okay? 1 million per day. Well, in the last week, 912,000 doses of the vaccine were administered per day, according to Bloomberg's tracker. This isn't Donald Trump's numbers. This is according to Bloomberg. 912,000 doses on a vaccine rollout that just started a couple weeks ago. It's not like you go out the first week and do a million doses in 1 day per day. And yesterday, according to Bloomberg's tracker, not the old White House, this isn't Kayleigh McEnany, whatever, how you ever say her name, telling you this. This is Bloomberg. 1.6 million doses were administered yesterday. So my question, which I did answer this one. So the new Biden administration goal will also be a dismal failure, even if it's reached, because their goal is 100 million or 1 million per day for 100 days on average. Now think of, even if you only did 5.6 days, 5 days a week at 1.6 million. Let's say you kept that 1.6 million a day, you'd be over the 100 million in 100 days, right? But if Biden administration's goal is 1 million per day average, wouldn't it be a failure, a dismal failure? Because that's what they're doing now under the Trump plan that apparently didn't exist before this executive order. It was a miserable failure before this executive order, even though the rolling average was 912,000 doses. So, they're short, 88,000 doses? Or did Biden's executive order see what was already happening and set the bar super low so they could go back and claim, if they got, let's say they got 2 million per day, which is possible depending on what they do. If they got 2 million doses per day, then it would be a phenomenal success. It would be just glorious. Everyone would be happy and singing like praises of Joe Biden that they set this goal and they exceeded it by double. You motherfuckers. And so, I went back. I wanted to see what Zeke Miller said about this afterwards, and he did tweet something, but for some reason, the tweet seems to be gone, and it's almost as though he didn't want to make Biden look bad with his tweet. So then I went back. Let's see here if it's in here. So here's the AP article that came out after this exchange, and I want you to check out this article. You're right. Good morning, assassin of the gray. 900,000 doses administered per day, despite states like New York, where drama queen Cuomo has screwed up again, and over 30% of his allotment has gone to waste from poor storage. Yeah, that too. There's a bunch of these states that haven't even administered everything they got because they screwed up the distribution. And they had regulations that did not allow them to distribute what they didn't already have scheduled to be used. And so they wasted a bunch of product. Jason Arnold, yes, I did say, quote, tongue bath of the taint. I did say that. I'm just trying to think some colorful metaphors and but whatever. Just saying. So here's the article that comes out from the AP about this, because just get used to the media just literally, tongue baths of the taint. They're not going to ever give the public, the normies, the people out here who just read what they say and believe it and usually read the headline and the first few things, right? So the headline of the AP article, Biden signs burst of virus orders, vows help is on the way. Oh, thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you. I can't wait. Thank you. With a burst of it. How should I read this? Should I read this as a? No, I'm not going to do NPR style. This is just. Hey, Giacca. How do you say that? Hey, Giacca. Hey, anyway. With a burst of executive orders, President Joe Biden served notice Thursday that America's war on COVID-19 is under a new command, promising an anxious nation progress to reduce infections and lift the siege that it has endured for nearly a year. Now remember, a couple months ago when President Trump said that we will have vaccine. I said that word. I'm sorry. That we would have poke by the end of the year. Hello, Duck Dog. I haven't seen Wikipedia snippet yet. That we would have poke by the end of the year. The media pretty much just ridiculed him or told him he was lying or this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then we did have it by the end of the year, and the first vaccines were started to administer during his administration and got up to almost that 1 million person per day goal set by the new president. Anyway, I digress. At the same time, he tried to manage expectations in his second day of office, saying, despite the best intentions, we're going to face setbacks. He brushed off a reporter's question. Brushed it off? He didn't answer the reporter's question. He brushed off a reporter's question on whether his goal of 100 million coronavirus shots in 100 days should be more ambitious, a point pressed by some public health experts. Hello, Thomas Cleaver. He brushed off a reporter's question. He said, come on, man.
Come on, man.
The 10 orders signed by Biden are aimed at jumpstarting his national COVID-19 strategy. I can't say that word either. And immediately increase the use of masks, including a requirement that Americans mask up for travel. One directive calls for addressing healthcare inequities in minority communities hard hit by the virus. We did not get into this mess overnight, and it will take months to turn this around, Biden said. Remember, 1.6 million doses yesterday. At the White House, U.S. deaths have surged past 400,000, excuse me. I'm sorry, 400 million. We'd be all dead if it was 400 million. And he noted projections that they could reach 500,000 in a month. But then, looking directly into the TV camera, Biden declared, to a nation waiting for action, let me clear up this point. Help is on the way. Oh, does that mean vaccines? Henziker, you caught it right away, and welcome to the show. Yeah, 100 million in 100 days is literally the exact same pace that we've been going. Exactly. And so again, that question I asked was, well, is he deliberately trying to downplay the goals so he could exceed them? And how is, or is he's planning, because he called the Trump administration's plan a dismal failure? Is he just planning on being a dismal failure? Because reasons. The new president has vowed to take far more aggressive measures. Wait a minute, far more aggressive measures. How so, Joe? Than his predecessor, starting with stringent adherence to public health guidance. Well, haven't they been doing that in most of the states? And you can't force every state to do what you want to do, Joe. The key difference is that under Biden, the federal government is assuming full responsibility for the COOF response. And instead of delegating major tasks to states, he is offering to help them with technical backup and federal money. Okay, can anyone tell me what exactly is different from that and what we've been doing? I don't know. He faces steep obstacles with the virus actively spreading in most states. Poke shortages, slow progress on distribution, and political uncertainty over whether congressional Republicans will help him pass a $1.9 trillion economic relief and COOF response package. Again? How about we just open some shit up? And also, vaccine shortages. Like in New York? Where they're throwing vaccine away because they didn't store it right? Or and look, the vaccine was just created, and they've been ramping up production like crazy. They're selling this stuff all over the world. But we just started administering. Oh, I said that word. We just started administering the poke 2 weeks ago. So calling it a slow, what do they say here? Poke shortages, slow progress on distribution. Well, so the new president has a goal of 100 million doses over 100 days, aka 1 million doses a day. But apparently slow progress on distribution is 900,012 doses per day average, with 1.6 million doses administered yesterday. So I ask, is Joe R. Biden? I always laugh because the guys at Hotep's been told you call him Joseph Rahim Biden, because the black people help a brother out. Joseph Rahim Biden planned to do 1 million doses a day. Apparently would also be slow progress on distribution, but that's his plan. And then adding to the challenges are virus mutations, particularly one that has emerged in South Africa that may make the vaccine somewhat less effective. Well, I got all kinds of news on this today, and I'm not going to tell it all, but there's also a rash of false positives. Remember that when the WHO the other day, or was it yesterday? It was after the inauguration, because they would have never done this before the inauguration. But they were talking about how they might need to recalibrate these, is it PCH tests? Because they've been finding out that they're at a certain level, there are going to be a whole lot of false positives. And apparently we've been making these doing these PCH tests above that level, a good portion above that level. Apparently there was a study at the University of Wisconsin Oh, way back in May, talking about if you calibrate these tests, and I just want to, I'll use 40, I guess. I learned this morning. If you calibrate these tests a certain way, a lot of these tests are going to give you false positives. And that's probably why we have so many asymptomatic people in the United States. And the WHO, and this study was back in May, and there was another study in October that said the same thing. So we've known this almost as long as we've had the what do you call it? The COOF? As long as we've had the COOF in the United States, right? Well, PCR, thank you, PCR. I could remember. I was thinking Pacific Coast Highway. Anyway, so now just right after Joe Biden gets inaugurated, right? Now they're like, oh no, we need to recalibrate those PCR tests because you're probably getting a whole bunch of false positives. It's just amazing. Oh, also the other thing too, and I still see a lot of people doing this. How yes, we've had 400,000 deaths in the United States, and that's very sad. And a vast majority of them are people over 70, and we know that, and we're losing a lot of grandma and grandpas during this. But I want people to realize, because someone's talking about how, the United States is just the worst. If you look at most of the Western countries in the Northern Hemisphere, for the most part, all have a very comparable death rate from this. It's a fucking virus, people. This is not something that we're going to get the virus under control. No, it's a virus. It's if we are fortunate enough to have a vaccine that works, that this vaccine may not even work. Remember, it's not. Here's the other thing. The poke. See, I can't even stop doing it. The poke. Do you realize that the poke is not even FDA approved yet? Did you know that? Oh, wait a minute. I thought I heard that it was FDA approved now. No, the poke's not FDA approved. The poke is authorized for emergency use by the FDA. That's a completely different thing. It's authorized for emergency use. That's not the same as being approved. Interesting. Home Clay says 70% of positive cases say they were avid mask wearers. According to the CDC, a mask mandate will never work. Yeah, I was an avid mask wearer when I was anywhere outside of my home. Well, not anywhere, but at least, I had to wear a mask at work. I have to wear a mask when I'm delivering things. I have to wear a mask when I'm at basketball practice. But I still got it. And in fact, yeah, and also the idea that people aren't going outside, they're having to stay in their homes. Well, you also don't you don't really boost your immune system when you're staying in the house all the time. You're not getting the sun. You're not getting, or at least they need to get you to boost your immune system so that the poke works, because the type of poke it is, it's like, it's easy to claim the U.S. has 400,000 COVID deaths, COOF deaths, when they count heart attacks, gunshots, and vehicle accidents. Yeah, one of the reasons probably is why so many elderly are dying from this compared to even youth is there's a good chance that all those elderly who are passing may have been passing from something else, and they just got a positive COOF test. Huh? I remember that but you know what? If they're in a hospital and you get a COOF death, the hospital can get a little, what do they call it? Relief from the federal government. So I don't know. Let's see. In the e-Pfizer notice, it's written several times that all across the document that the poke is not approved by the FDA, but it's authorized for emergency measures. Ever heard of emergency vaccine? The emergency what do I call it? Pokes? Emergency pokes? Well, yeah. No, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, considering that technically a drug, FDA approval shouldn't matter. It's outside of their wheelhouse. Oh, I never even thought of that. Anyway, so back to this article though, because there's another interesting, because at least they mentioned at the beginning that there was a question that as he brushed off the reporter's question, right? And so down here though, you would think that they would clarify what the brushing off of that reporter's question was, right? Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Biden officials have said they've been hampered by a lack of cooperation from the Trump administration during the transition. Oh, let's blame it on the transition. They're so slick. They say they don't have a complete understanding of their predecessor's action on vaccine distribution, and they face a litany of complaints from states that say they're not getting enough poke, even as they're being asked to poke more categories of people. And then Biden's mask order for travel applies to airports and planes, ships, intercity buses, trains, and public transportation. That's already being done. Oh my God. So his executive order is another thing that is already being done. When we flew this weekend, the airline required us to wear masks the entire time, unless you were drinking the little bottle of water they gave you. Oh my God. Now, travelers from abroad must furnish a negative COVID-19 test before departing for the U.S. That's already being done. Hello, Mr. No. Hello, infamous one. How you doing? Oh my God. Although airlines, Amtrak, and other transport providers now require masks, at least they acknowledge that that's already being done. Biden's order makes it a federal mandate. Well, there you go. A federal mandate makes everything better, leaving little wiggle room for passengers tempted to argue about their rights. Well, they've been throwing people off of airplanes and public transportation for months now when they don't want to comply, so whatever. The action was applauded by airline unions and supported by major industry trade groups. Oh, thank you so much. It marks a sharp break with the culture of Hang on, let me get this ready. It marks a sharp break with the culture of President Donald Trump's administration, under which masks were optional. And Trump made a point of going maskless and hosting big gatherings of like-minded supporters. Now, get this line, because there is a serious caveat. Hello, Special Can Acid. Listen to this line that follows that. Science has shown that masks, properly worn, cut down on coronavirus transmission. Science, again, has shown that masks properly worn cut down on coronavirus transmission. Really? Really? Have they, though? Oh, properly worn. Now, I'm curious. Yes, sources for one. Science has shown Science has shown. What science? What study? What type of masks properly worn when and how I got a lot of questions about that one line, because someone even said that 70% of the people who've gotten the coof wore their masks. So cut down how? Anyway, Biden said his administration's coof decisions would be based on science, not politics. Great. Science. Do they even, okay, we'll select a boy. Do they realize that science is all action? Yeah, and you're going to hear the music for that for a second. Science, that doesn't even make sense. Science is not something that's static. Science is the study of something, okay? It's not like science is like my desk here, okay? Something that's here and it's permanent and it's something that you can see and you can, it's an unchanging. Good God. The use of the word science is so bastardized right now. Anyways, Biden is seeking to, now here's where they go into this. Biden is seeking to expand testing and poke ability. He's seeking to expand testing and poke availability with the goal of 100 million shots in his first 100 days in office. So nothing changes. But some independent experts say his administration should strive for 2 or 3 times that number. Guess what? They're going to hit that 2 or 3 times that number as the production continues to ramp up and they have more places to give the pokes. Again, they're setting the bar low so they can just exceed that. Oh, we did so great. We did 2-3 times what our goal was. But anyway, even with the slow pace of vaccinations, the U.S. is already closing in 1 million shots a day. Slow pace compared to what? The slow pace compared to what and or who? Right now, the United States is in the top 5 per capita in vaccinations. Slow pace compared to what, you freaking asswipes? It's a disappointingly low bar, said Dr. Leanna Wen, a public health expert and emergency physician. I don't want to make a disparaging mark about Dr. Wen, but that's the point, Dr. Wen. They're setting a low bar that they can easily exceed. Asked about that at the White House on Thursday, Biden told a reporter, "When I announced it, you all said it's not possible. Come on, give me a break, man." Well, at least they reported it. Yeah. When you announced what? Because when you announced what, Joe? When you announced a goal that we're almost already hitting? Why? Who would have said it's not possible? The only thing they said that wasn't possible was us getting a poke this soon. We were supposed to be getting a poke until the end of this year or maybe into next year. Who exceeded that goal? Oh, that was one that nobody said would happen. And oh, wait, you had nothing to do with that. And then he said, Fauci told reporters the U.S. could return to a degree of normality by the fall if the vaccination campaign goes well. Achieving widespread or herd immunity would require vaccinating as many as 280 million people. Biden has directed the federal... Well, here's the other part. If we're changing the testing, because we're going to recalibrate that testing process, and all of a sudden we're having fewer and fewer cases. Oh, won't that be a Biden miracle? And then they just go on and say Biden has directed the Federal Emergency Management Agency to begin setting up vaccination centers, aiming to have 100 up running within a month. Why don't they just go back to doing them at CVCs and Walgreens? You wouldn't need to set up centers. I mean, what the hell? And he's ordered the Department of Education, Health, and Human Services to provide clear guidance for reopening them safely schools, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah, he set a goal for having most K-8 schools reopen in the first 100 days. Oh, my God, wasn't that already part of the plan? Hello, Hig, how you doing? Say hi to Cindy for me. Also, good morning, Moonbase Radio. Yeah, gee, we hadn't already thought of doing that. Most states are already in that process. In fact, wasn't it Governor Cuomo who, day after inauguration said, oh, well, maybe we should be getting New York businesses open again, because we want to have those businesses open because we can't let this go on forever in our economy. Fucking dipshit. Anyway, yeah, Biden estimates that a national poke strategy with expanded testing requires $160 billion, and he wants additional $770 billion to aid the reopening of schools and universities. Why? I aid them how? Oh, so they could put in plastic walls and shit? They already have a bunch of... the school I coach at, they already have a lot of that shit. I don't know who's paying for it. Well, our parents pay for it because it's a private school, but whatever. Disney World is talking about doing mass pokes. Oh, really? I did not know that. Anyway, so I just found this whole topic somewhat hilarious. How they're, one, when Biden said they had no plan. Well, if they had no plan, how are we having 900,000 Excuse me. Damn it. If they had no plan, how are we getting up to 900,000 plus pokes a day right now? And your goal is 1 million. And we had 1.6 million yesterday. How is it that we've gotten to that if there was no plan whatsoever to get the pokes out? The pokes are already out. Dumbass. Let's see. There was one more here. Was this from? Oh yeah. This. Oh. This is great too. So this reporter, what's her name? Oh, MJ Lee. Yeah, she's a CNN White House correspondent. She's that one that she's the of Asian descent, and when Trump said something about you should ask China. Why did you direct that question at me? Because we're talking about the virus from China, not because you're of Asian descent, you dumbass. Anyway, listen to how she describes Fauci, because Fauci said something. So so Biden was saying that Joe Biden was basically saying, "Oh, we're starting from scratch. There was no plan." Well, Fauci says to the reporter, he makes it clear that there are elements from what the Trump administration put in place, as in poke distribution, that are already being utilized. Notes all Biden's doing is trying to ramp it up, although ever so slightly is their plan. And so Fauci says, we are certainly not starting from scratch. Now, this is hilarious. Shout out, he's being diplomatic. He doesn't want to alienate people. 400,000 plus Americans are dead. Yeah, it's a fucking virus, and it's about at the same rate as most Western countries in the Northern Hemisphere. But anyway, so Fauci makes it clear, no, we're not starting from scratch. Listen to what this woman says. Fauci, a holdover from the Trump administration, said about the previous administration vaccine distribution efforts, you can't say it was absolutely not usable at all. In the last hour, Biden said Trump's poke rollout had been a dismal failure. Oh, except he's pretty much close to your new goal. But listen to that phrase. Fauci, she describes Dr. Anthony Fauci, mind you, as a holdover from the Trump administration. Y'all know how long Anthony Fauci's been a part of the CDC, the National Institute of Health, right? Y'all know? Anyone know the answer to that? Fauci, who's everyone says, yes, Hig, you got it. He's a holdover from the Reagan administration. He's been around since the 80s and has been a part of the National Institute of Health. He was there when Reagan, Bush the first, Clinton, Bush W, 44, what is it, 43? Bush 43, Bush 40, whatever. Anyway, Obama and Trump. But she describes, because, oh my gosh, he contradicted Joe Biden. Apparently that sound is now for Joe Biden. I use it for Barack Obama too. But boy, oh boy, you are not allowed to question anything that Joe Biden does. He slightly and ever so gently contradicted Joe Biden. And she calls him a holdover from the Trump administration. Oh my God, you cannot make this shit up. It's embarrassing. And in fact, right now, the U.S. has vaccinated a third of all the vaccinated people in the entire world. We're doing pretty good. All right. Fauci, a Trump holder. Oh, Siraj gave her a nomination to the list. For calling him calling Fauci a holdover. That's awesome. So your prior reporting, which went viral, was wrong. What? I don't know. He's talking to somebody else. Real quick here. Thank you, Willett Forge, Tyler F, for retweeting the tweet. That is the tweet. And also Tim Gersh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you for quoting me, the tongue bath of the taint. Oh my gosh, let's see. By the way, do not forget, it will be in the tabs. You have to watch The Grifties. It's funny as hell. All right, should we move on to something else? Here's Fauci. Maybe I'll just do this one last little clip. This is a video clip of the Reverend Dr. Fauci. And he's talking about whether or not they're starting from scratch. Here's the video on that.
The information we have today, it doesn't appear that the South African strain is here.
Okay, and if I could just ask you about the effort to distribute the vaccines, because of course that's what most people want to know. When are they going to get a vaccine? Is the Biden administration starting from scratch with the vaccine distribution effort, or are you picking up where the Trump administration left off?
No, I mean, we certainly are not scratch.
Now, here's how fucking stupid is that question? How stupid is that question? Let me go back to that let me go back to her stupid ass question. Listen to how stupid this question is.
A vaccine. Is the Biden administration starting from scratch with
Is the Biden administration starting from scratch
the vaccine distribution effort, or are you picking up where the Trump administration left off?
Okay, we already know that hundreds of thousands of people in the United States have been vaccinated already, you dumbass. So at the very, very least, you're already picking up from scratch. That's a dumbass question. If people are already being vaccinated because there's a vaccine, if you were starting from scratch, what would starting from scratch entail? Is the Biden administration starting from scratch? Well, I wish Fauci would have said, that's a stupid question because we already have a vaccine and people are already being administered the vaccine, you dumbass. But listen to his actual answer.
No, I mean, we certainly are not starting from scratch because there is activity going on in the distribution.
Okay, see?
But if you look at the plan that the president has put forth about the things that he is going to do, namely get community vaccine centers up, get pharmacies more involved, where appropriate.
Now, again, community vaccine centers. There, you know how many fucking community vaccines places you can get vaccines from that already exist in every community, probably in America. There's getting a community vaccine centers. Wouldn't it be faster just to distribute them? I can go into my freaking grocery store and get a flu shot every year, or Walgreens, or CVS, or the urgent care, or the clinic down the street. But all the Cub Foods in Minnesota, their little Cub Food pharmacy, you can get a flu shot every year. There are flu shot clinics at the where was it? I just drove by one. Someplace advertising, come get a flu shot. It was it's like they're already out there. All you'd have to do is say, hey, here's the shit, and here, stick and poke in somebody. Whatever the hell I just said. What vaccine distribution centers? Kiss my ass. Just fucking give it to every place that already does vaccines for everything else. Jesus, stupid. Anyway.
Get the Defense Production Act involved, not only perhaps with getting more vaccine, but even the things you need to get a good vaccine program.
Again, the time that it would take to implement the Defense Production Act to get more vaccine would probably take more than 100 days, and probably all these companies I'm sure they could produce enough vaccine. The harder part is maybe for syringes, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there's any shortage of syringes. Let's try to say that 10 times fast. Shortage of syringes. It will turn into something else about the third time. Anyway, but I don't even think you need to do that. Just, whatever. They're doing nothing new and pretending like they invented the fucking wheel. I'm just saying.
For example, needles and syringes that might be more useful in that. So it's taking what's gone on, but amplifying it in a big way.
Oh, yes, taking what's gone on, because she's dumb enough to ask, are you starting from scratch? I don't know.
President Biden said that what was left was abysmal, essentially. I mean, is there anything actionable that you are taking from the previous administration?
Yeah, the vaccines that have already been distributed, the pokes that have already been distributed and poked. Good God.
Well,
is that delaying your efforts to get the vaccine? I mean, that's the question.
No, I mean, we're coming in with fresh ideas, but also some ideas that were not bad ideas with the previous.
How generous. Oh, fresh ideas, and some things that were not bad ideas from the previous. Well, that's a little passive aggressive. Marty be like, you ain't slick, bitches. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, good morning, Gay Man 88. Welcome to the show. If you haven't already, Hunter. Gay Man 88 with the in chat of the day. Hunter Biden has no shortage of syringes. Word. Wait till they change the mask rules to match Europe. Oh, bite your tongue. Don't even say that, Gamer Valine. By the way, good morning, my friend. All right, let's see.
Administration. You can't say it was absolutely not usable at all. So we are continuing, but you're going to see a real ramping up of it.
Yeah,
Final
great.
question. You had said that most people will be vaccinated.
So she just. Oh shit. Sorry, I don't want to go on here.
And he's focused on doing his job to get the work done.
Oh,
for the
this was
American
good
people.
too,
Go
though.
Why weren't President Biden and all members of the Biden?
Okay, so yeah, one of the executive orders yesterday was also COOF related, that on all federal properties that you must be wearing a mask, or all federal jurisdictions, whatever, you must be wearing a mask
at all times.
And what happened
on federal lands last night?
Stop that. Do I have pictures of this? Maybe not. I don't think I do. Let's see if it's in here. Well, I don't know. In all these so supposedly on all federal property, people were supposed to be wearing masks, right? But at a celebration, at some, well, you'll hear the explanation. Biden wasn't wearing a mask. None of his family was wearing masks at this, at this gathering. I think it was at the Washington Monument or Lincoln Memorial or something. But none of them. They were taking pictures, and they were not wearing masks. And so this reporter had the audacity to ask a question about it to the new press secretary, who's not. Well, she's not as smooth as some of the former press secretaries, and certainly, well, she's not Kaylee. But anyway, here, let's listen to this. Here's the excuse. Here's the excuse.
And he's focused on doing his job to get the work done for the American people. Go ahead.
Why weren't President Biden and all members of the Biden family masked at all times on federal lands last night if he signed an executive order that mandates masks on federal lands at all times?
Good question.
At the inaugural
At the Lincoln Memorial, yes.
I think, Steve, he was celebrating an evening.
Now, she messed up, because that's not Steve Ducey. That's his son. I can't remember the son's name, but anyway, she called him Steve. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Of a historic day, celebrating. I think, Steve, he was celebrating an evening of a historic day in our country, and certainly he signed the mask mandate because it's a way to send a message to the American public about the importance of wearing masks, how it can save tens of thousands of lives. We take a number of COVID precautions, as you know, here in terms of testing, social distancing, mask wearing ourselves.
But he wasn't wearing a mask, and that's the question. Are you going to answer that question? It was a celebration. Was he wearing a mask?
As we do every single day, but I don't know that I have more for you on it.
Oh, and I just thought of something. Jen Psaki. Where is Jen Psaki answering these questions from? I am just curious. Where is Jen Psaki answering these questions from?
That.
But as Joe Biden often talks about, it is not just important the example of power, but the power of our example. Was that a good example for people who are watching who might not pay attention normally?
Well, Steve, I think the power of his example is also the message he sends by signing 25 executive orders, including almost half of...
by signing 25 executive orders? Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Them related to COVID, the requirements that we're all under every single day here to ensure we're sending that message to the public. Yesterday was a historic...
Where's her mask? She's on federal freaking property.
in our history. He was inaugurated as president of the United States. He was surrounded by his family. We take a number of precautions, but I think we have bigger issues to worry about at this moment in time.
Oh, bigger issues than the coof? Really? Oh my gosh, Jen, with 400,000 plus dead Americans, you would think that the President of the United States would be setting a better example on federal property right after he signed an executive order about wearing masks on federal property. And Jen, where is your mask right now? I don't know. Hey, Black Hebrew Israelite, I see you there.
That's right.
Good morning. Also fight for your rights. How you doing? Yeah, so I guess I guess that old executive order didn't mean all that much, did it, Jen? Oh. So now, I know I'm kind of stuck on the coof today, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but I do have a couple of posts, but I have one last coof story because, it's Friday's day is coof day today. Wear your mask, bigot. Yeah, right on. Anyway, so, and this is just an interesting editorial that'll be in the tabs today when you go into the show tab. Remember, the show links don't change until after the show. So right now the show links on the description are yesterday's. So immediately after the show, I changed them to today's just because I copy and paste, and I always forget to change those links. But this is interesting. Dr. Atlas, Scott Atlas, who is the former advisor of the Trump administration, says that Biden officials undermined confidence in the vaccine under Trump, and nothing right now has changed but the president. Dr. Scott Atlas, former COVID special advisor for the Trump administration, blasted the Biden administration for undermining confidence in the vaccine was rolled out during the Trump administration, but is now pushing for people to get it. The only thing that has changed, he said, was who the president is. Amazon contacted. Now, this is funny because you might have seen this letter that Amazon sent to the Biden administration. Here's the line. Amazon contacted the Biden administration just after President Joe Biden was sworn in, offering to leverage its operations and asking for its employees to be inoculated at the earliest possible time. During an interview with Fox News, The Story with Martha Stewart on Thursday, Atlas noted that Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post, is a friendly to the Democratic cause. I think it's pretty bad. If they had this capability, they should have shared it with the Trump administration, he said. Host Trace Gallagher noted that Bezos was no fan of Trump, and he asked whether America would be better off today if Amazon had made the same offer to the Trump administration a month ago. Well, I hate to predict like that, but I can say this. It is disgusting, despicable, vile for people who let people die in this country for political reasons. We see it potentially as that. We also saw it when this administration that came in cast doubt on the safety of the vaccine, the poke, excuse me. Why don't we hear that anymore? Atlas said. The vaccination program and the vaccine was very safe. No corners were cut. We kept saying that, and the people in this administration at the highest levels made people insecure about the safety. When you undermine public confidence in something that is critical as a life-saving vaccine, a life-saving poke, I don't know how to describe something like that, but I'll use one word. It's absolutely heinous. It's sinful to do that. Now, about Amazon, though, this is also interesting because, as we already know, as far as distribution, the federal government has used UPS and FedEx extensively. The secret here, though, is Amazon sends this letter to President Biden. Sorry. He sent this letter to President Biden. Sorry, hang on. They sent this letter to President Biden. And, okay, I think I'm okay. So they sent the letter to President Biden, right? saying, oh, hey, we have this capability. We can do some distribution, but we would like you to vaccinate our 400,000 employees first so we can continue to profit. But what's funny about that, or strange about that, or misleading about that, they made a big show, and Amazon put the big show of the letter they sent to the president on Twitter, right? Did any of you know that Amazon was already involved in the distribution of this? Yeah. Shocker. They were quietly involved in it already, even though most of it has been being done by UPS and FedEx. Amazon also was already involved. So this letter they sent was just a big show to say, yes, we're here to help the Biden administration. Oh, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for the Streamlabs donation. Oh no, a reporter decided to spit Joe's nut and ask questions about their hypocrisy.
That's right.
How long before he's removed from the press corps? I'm saying,
That's
and
right.
this is Zeke Miller. He's from the Associated Press. Now I can see Ducey's kid. I can't remember Ducey's kid's name, but that's the guy who was asking the question to the press secretary about the Biden family not wearing masks right after Joe Biden wrote signed an executive order mandating masks on all federal property that she wasn't wearing a mask on. But the AP reporter and the Washington Post reporter backing it up with facts. Remember facts? What did he say? Facts over truth or something like that? Or whatever bullshit Joe said by accident. Facts over truth. And now they did spend their time undermining this poke before the poke was actually began to be distributed, and then it was distributed before their administration even started. So absolutely no, they weren't doing it from scratch. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, by the way. Appreciate that. All right. How much time do I have? Oh my gosh, I took the whole show on the coof. Well, let me just talk about some tactics here. Oh my gosh, more. How do you like it? Let's see. Oh, these are just some likes and some other shit I did. And I'm sorry. Let's see here. Gamer Vleen sent me a this is what you were talking about, Gamer Vleen. I'm gonna use this real quick. This is from the Washington Post. Oh shit, I might not be able to see this article. Okay, let me see if I can get it from archive. Hang on a second here. This is, please. Yes, it was already archived. So thanks, Gamer Valina. We'll do this one real quick, and then I gotta probably head out of here. Let's get it set right here. There we go. This page in archive. There we go. Europe's growing mask. Ditch the cloth ones for medical grade coverings. Oh, Jesus. Oh, geez. Here we go. Berlin, faced with new, more contagious strains of the coronavirus and winter surge of cases, European nations have begun to tighten mask regulations in the hope that they could slow the spread of the virus. Now, here's fascinating because for whatever reason, Germany was one of the few European countries that really didn't see the super surge of cases as their neighbors did in France, Spain, Italy, UK. But all of a sudden, the cases in Germany are starting to grow exponentially. And in fact, per capita, Germany is the hottest spot in Europe right now when it comes to new COVID cases, which probably, let me just run this by you, probably because you can't control a virus. And one of the reasons that Italy probably was the hot spot in the beginning is because there were direct flights from Wuhan, China to northern Italy, where they were having the worst problems. Because, as you may remember, I've said this before, Chinese companies have purchased a lot of the clothing companies in northern Italy because they have found that a piece of clothing with a tag made in Italy has a psychological higher value than a piece of clothing with a tag that says made in China. So some Chinese business people, the government, bought a whole bunch of textile and clothing companies in northern Italy. And thus, there's a lot of business travel between Wuhan and Milan. Daily flights. Anyway, Germany. And so the northern Italy, I think they has like just that area of northern Italy, there's like 200 to 300,000 Chinese nationals who live in that part of the northern Italy because the textile industry. Well, German, and then also those, and remember we talked about how in New York, the state of New York, the surge in cases in New York was greater than anywhere in the country of the United States. Well, that's because in February we had what is known as Fashion Week, where about 200 to 300,000 people jammed New York City to watch people walk on funny stages in that really weird foot over foot walk that they do. And so, how could there be a surge of cases from Italy to New York? Oh, because Italy is one of the fashion capitals of the world. Is this all beginning to make sense? But in Germany, and I looked this up. I looked this up back in probably May or June because I wanted to figure out, okay, where do people travel? Where do people travel to most? Well, Milan is one with daily flights between Milan and Wuhan. New York City and the West Coast in the United States are huge travel. There's huge travel between those two parts of our country and China. But very few people from China travel to Germany. There might be 100,000 Chinese nationals in the entire country of Germany. So there probably is less likely for it to spread. Now, also, there's a lot of travel between Italy and Spain because of fashion traffic. So you can kind of take Europe, for whatever reason, Germany didn't have a lot of people at first per capita to catch the coup. But now they're the highest in that part of the continent. So it's funny that now Germany on Tuesday night made it mandatory for people riding on public transport or in supermarkets to wear medical-style masks, either N95s, the Chinese or European equivalent to KN95 or FFP2S, or a surgical mask. It follows stricter regulation from the German state of Bavaria this week that required N95 equivalents in stores and on public transport. Austria will introduce the same measures from Monday. Meanwhile, France, the country's health advisory council on Monday, discouraged the wearing of inefficient cloth and homemade masks, which is all you see in the U.S., by the way. I mean, there's some, anyway. Also arguing that they may not offer sufficient protection against the more highly transmissible coronavirus variants. I'll just leave this archive page of the tabs, but because I actually do got to go. But so anyway, thank you, Gamer Verlaine, for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate that. And Shieldgrass sent me something too while we're in the middle of the show. Let me check real quick. Yeah, and here, I'll put the other article. European countries mandate medical grade masks. Let me see if that one comes up. Okay, that one will also be in there. That's from CNN, whatever that is. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for the new donation via Streamlabs. And Black Hebrew Israelite, you know what?
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
Oh, no, you're not. How'd that happen? Aren't you? There should have been 3. Anyway, Black Hebrew Israelite with the second donation. Thank you. Did you hear Germany wants to reopen the internment camps for people infected with COVID? Oh, my God.
That's right.
But we're not... But we're not -C.
That's right.
That's all I got to say about that. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. Oh, anyway, let me just check this last little thing here. Breaking. Oh, we're gonna end the show on a bad note. Breaking news: Hall of Famer, one-time home run king, Atlanta Braves legend Henry Louis Hank Aaron passed away this morning at age 86. Oh, that's sad news. You know what? I was when I was playing baseball as a kid, I was a huge Hank Aaron fan. Just because I was a little bit overweight and just I had a similar body to him when I was playing baseball as a kid, and I loved hitting home runs. And I watched him hit 715 on national television because they televised that game, and that was an exciting time. That Babe Ruth record had lasted for so long up until then. And that's a bummer. Hall of Famer and one-time home run king, Atlanta Braves legend Henry Louis Hank Aaron passed away this morning at the age of 86. He leaves behind an indelible legacy on and off the baseball diamond. Aaron was born in Mobile, Alabama in 1934, the son of Herbert and Estella Aaron. He played in Sandlots and started his pro career in the Negro Leagues in 1951. He made his way through the minor leagues until age 20. Aaron then made his major league debut and started his 23-year career with the Milwaukee Braves. He recorded his first 755 home runs. The first of his 755 home runs on April 23rd, 1954, in a game against the St. Louis Cardinals. His first season saw him finish fourth in the Rookie of the Year voting as he hit .280 with 13 home runs and 69 RBIs. It was just the start of what became one of the most legendary careers in baseball history. By the time he was in just his fourth season, he hit 44 home runs, drove in 132 RBIs, and won the National League MVP award. The 1957 season started a lengthy run that saw Aaron hit at least 25 home runs in every season until 1973. During his time, Aaron and the Braves moved from Milwaukee to Atlanta, where Aaron became a living legend on the field. It was the 1974 season that saw Aaron smash his way into the national consciousness. On April 8th, 1974, Hammerin' Hank, as he was known, crushed a 1-0 pitch from the Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Al Downing over the left field wall at Fulton County Stadium and broke Babe Ruth's longtime home run record of 714 home runs in a career. Aaron would play a few more seasons before calling it a career in October 3rd, 1976. He immediately transitioned into a role with the Braves as Director of Player Development, a position he held until 1989. He then became a Senior Vice President for the Braves, a title he held for decades. Aaron remains baseball's run batted in leader with 2,297, a total base leader with 6,856. Hammerin' Hank finished his career with 755 home runs, an all-time record that stood for decades until Barry Bonds passed him and finished with 762 home runs. His number 44 jersey was retired by both the Atlanta Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers. On August 1, 1982, Aaron was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. In 1999, the 25th anniversary of Aaron breaking the home run record, Major League Baseball established the Hank Aaron Award that is given to the best overall hitter in each league. He later received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President George W. Bush and was inducted as a Georgia trustee by the Georgia Historical Society in 2010. In 2016, Aaron was presented with the Order of the Rising Sun, one of Japan's highest honors for his work with the World Children's Baseball Fair. But Aaron was more than just a baseball player. He fought through horrendous racism in the Deep South throughout his career and even received death threats while he was making his historic pursuit of Ruth's record. All the while, he remained humble and continued to power through every hurdle that was in front of him. In his bio in the Baseball Hall of Fame, a quote from the greatest boxer ever, Muhammad Ali, accompanies it that reads, "Hank Aaron was the only man I idolized more than myself. A fitting tribute to a towering man who left his mark on the baseball field, society, and the fabric of America." Rest in peace, Hank Aaron. That's the show for today. My name's PDawgKnight. You know all the other stuff I talk about. Just do that. My name's PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.